It's the love that will be remembered. By CalicoLynx. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Izuku enjoys the time he spends with Mirio during his internship, but figures that's all there really is to it. Imagine his surprise when Mirio starts popping up, literally, and seeking him out randomly. Maybe this really is more than just a work obligation for Mirio. Izuku hopes so. Or, Izuku gets older siblings and all the chaos that goes with it. This fic is about 1,500 words and 1 chapter. This fic is rated for general audiences and no archive warnings apply. As always, link to the fic is in the description. And on with the story. Since beginning his internship, Izuku has come to dearly appreciate Mirio Toogata. He has been there to guide him, help him, support him since the very beginning when All Might introduced them. Honestly, he really feels like he was learning more from Mirio than he was from Night-Eye, who he has a contentious relationship with. Night-Eye appears content to just shuffle him off to his sidekicks and pretend he's doing his job. Who knows, maybe that is how it works normally. Izuku's only other experience being with Gran. He doesn't consider himself an expert. He's afraid to ask. Rocking the boat seems like a bad idea to him. For all he is extremely attached to Mirio, he assumes that Mirio just sees him as a work obligation. Izuku doesn't mind, but, well, he really adores him and all the time he spends with him. Almost as if he had the brother he always kind of wanted, but would never mention to Mom. The first time Mirio pops out of a bush next to him and enthusiastically greets him at UA, Izuku nearly keels over in shock. They aren't scheduled for anything related to the internship, so he's not entirely sure what Mirio is doing here. Mirio surprises him again when he asks him to accompany him on a run, saying his usual running partners are all busy with other things, and it's his duty as a senpai to encourage good fitness habits in his charge. Izuku is slightly baffled, as he hasn't seen any of his other classmates get dragged around by their senpais, but readily agrees to come along anyway. He emerges back out of the dorm dressed properly this time, and Mirio starts off towards the running track in the woods. So, how you holding up? I know having to let Eri go back for now is rough, and I wanted to make sure you were doing all right. It's hard, Mirio-senpai. I feel so guilty for not doing more. The honesty is hard for him, but, well, Mirio asked, and he should be honest with him, right? I understand. I feel bad too, but we did what was best for the resources and knowledge we have. Overhaul is dangerous, and a confrontation there could have hurt a lot of civilians and gotten us hurt or killed. We will get her out. Don't you worry about that. Izuku is intensely grateful for the comfort brought by Mirio's words. Another piece of guilt falling away. Mirio really was a great senpai. A couple days after the run, Izuku is walking back to the dorms after class when Mirio pops out of the ground in front of him, bouncing up and grinning wildly at him. Izuku lets out an undignified squeak and hurries to slow his heart rate back down again. One of these days, Mirio was going to give him a heart attack. Hello there, little Kohai. I was hoping to pop into your vicinity. My friends and I are hanging out today and watching a movie, and we were hoping you'd come join us. Izuku is once more floored, staring at Mirio for a long moment before his brain catches up to what he just heard. His senpais want him to hang out with them? What? Of course! I would really like that. The words don't come out smoothly, but at least he got his point across, right? Great, Mirio says. They're ready to watch it. Let's go. Izuku follows him back across campus to the third-year dorms, listening to Mirio excitedly chatter about his classmates, the movie they're going to watch, a joke Tamaki had made. Really, everything under the sun Mirio could think to talk about. It reminds Izuku strongly of himself when he's excited, and the parallels between him help him be a little more comfortable with his senpai, though he is still confused as to why Mirio is finding him outside of work. Meeting the other two again is just as overwhelming as the first time. Nejire squeaks in excitement and rushes over to embrace him enthusiastically, while Tamaki watches silently from the background, greeting him quietly after Nejire is done gushing over him and joining them. Maybe they really do want to hang out with him after all. The movie itself is fun, but not nearly as great as the interactions with the three older students. They include him in their conversation, asking his opinions on the movie, or really anything and everything that comes up. Conversation extends to dinner, which they end up making together, although Tamaki ends up doing most of the cooking, as both Mirio and Nejire profess that he is the best among them at it. Izuku joins him in making it, enjoying the quiet companionship with Nejire and Mirio arguing over something. Honestly, they're going so fast that it's hard for even Izuku to keep up. Tamaki must have noticed the confusion on Izuku's face, because he laughs slightly. They have this argument all the time. It's so well hashed out at this point that no one else can keep up with it because they aren't even using logic anyone but them can follow. Just ignore them for now. They'll be done by the time food is ready. Izuku nods and turns back to the dinner preparations, tuning out the two in their debate and focusing on the task in front of him. Tamaki doesn't speak to him again while they cook, but it somehow never feels awkward, just natural. During dinner, he ends up drawn into a discussion with Nejire about quirks and is suddenly talking a mile a minute. Mirio and Tamaki laugh and start their own conversation, but to Izuku's delighted surprise, Nejire not only keeps up with his thought process, but adds her own thoughts in. He has the coolest senpais. The day Mirio pops through a tree while Izuku is on a run, his expression isn't the cheerful intensity Izuku is used to. There's a somber air around him as he waits for Izuku to stop and walk over to him. "Can we talk, Izuku?" Yep. Something was definitely off. Mirio didn't usually even ask anymore, just popped up and started talking about whatever it was he was excited about, or dragging Izuku off to some workout he had devised and wanted someone to do with him. Hesitantly, he replies, "Of course we can, Mirio-senpai. What about?" Mirio glances around cautiously. "Not here. Let's go to the clearing we've trained in." Izuku nods, and Mirio jogs off in the direction of the clearing. He's silent today. Somber. Izuku is deeply concerned by the atypical behavior. Things have been stressful lately with the preparations for the raid on Overhaul, but he hasn't seen Mirio look this unhappy before. They reached the clearing, and Izuku leaned against a tree, waiting for Mirio to start. "So, I recently overheard Sir on the phone, and I learned you inherited your quirk? I know you mentioned getting it late being why you struggled, but that's not all, is it?" Izuku freezes, eyes widening. This was never in his wildest dreams a conversation he ever expected to be having with Mirio. He knew Night Eye wanted Mirio to have one for all, but that Mirio didn't know about it. Apparently, he did now. Yes. All Might gave it to me right before the entrance exams. They wanted it to go to you, but I was chosen, and I'm sorry. You are worthy, and it should have been you, but... "Izuku, stop," Mirio says, voice firm. Izuku stops speaking, staring at the ground, tears filling his eyes, threatening to spill over. "I did learn it was supposed to go to me, that Sir still wants it to go to me. but I think he's wrong about you. I'm glad it's you. Izuku, you are a great example of what it means to be a hero. And just look at what you've already done with the quirk. You are going to be an incredible hero, and I'm proud that I get to have a part in shaping that future. I'm grateful to Sir for what he's done for me, but I wouldn't change a thing. You are my favorite Kohai, and I'm glad you're a part of my life. With that, Izuku couldn't hold back the flood anymore. The tears spilled over, sobs shaking his body. Of all the ways Izuku might have expected this conversation to go, that is not it. He's pulled into a tight embrace, a gentle hand running up and down his back, a soothing voice in his ear murmuring reassurances, offering support, telling him his senpais would always be there for him. He was theirs now. Izuku finally had the older siblings he'd so dearly wanted when he was younger. He couldn't ask for anything better. And that is all for this fic. Ooh, I thought it's so sweet. I haven't really seen a lot of fics that are like the big three just being like, yeah, that child, that is ours, younger sibling, dibs. And I just think I just love the concept. It's just so sweet, and it's all the feels, and it's so good, and I love it. And this was just such a sweet little fic, and I'm glad I got to podfic it. It's so fun. Anyway, that is all for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, link to the fic is in the description. Go leave a kudos, go leave a comment, whatever you can. I am sure the original author appreciates it. Anyway, that is all for this time, and I will see you guys next time.